This is not me trying to tell you how to be a fan or bash on any fandoms. This is just me talking about my experiences and what I would do in them.
Welcome, one and all. I love science. I may not be a witch, but here I am. I am the science witch, and I am sorry this is late. I know I promised I was going to have something up on Friday, but it is Saturday, and I had no time from Thursday through Friday to record anything. So this is the first chance I've had to record anything over the past about 36 hours. So, today what I'm going to be talking about is another controversy / opinion that is going to have to do with fandoms again. This video is going to be called Making or Breaking a Fandom. What I want to be touching on in this video is the kinds of things that can, as the title says, make or break a fandom. Like, the types of things are going to be somewhere along the lines of, gonna fall into categories such as theories, shipping, or like basically the acceptance of both theories and ships and other things of that nature. Some fandoms are very, very, bad about new people coming in. Like, sometimes people come into a fandom and it's aggressive. People are just automatically have their expectations too high for someone. There's no way to determine whether or not someone is a true fan of something or not. A fan is a fan. A fan is someone who enjoys the content, basically anyone who enjoys a show or a comic or a YouTuber or a book. Anyone who enjoys a certain thing is a fan. A fan is not a title that can be given to someone. It is a title that they give themselves. I am a fan of Gravity Falls. I am a fan of Steven Universe. I am a fan of Marvel and DC. Well, mostly Marvel. I haven't seen a lot of Steven Universe episodes. I've seen a couple. I haven't watched a lot of Gravity Falls, and I haven't seen a lot of the Marvel movies, but yet I still am a fan of these things. But if someone were to try and tell me that because I didn't know these things, or I wasn't as up to date on my trivia as they are, that I'm not a fan, or because I haven't seen every single movie and read every single comic, that I'm not a fan. It doesn't work like that. And that is definitely something that can drive people out of a fandom. And I remember I used to have like fights with one of my friends. I claimed that I really liked this one band. And my friend, she was basically like, "Oh, well, did you know that this and this is like this band does this, this, and this?" And like, no. And then this person tried to tell me, "Oh, well, you're not even a real fan of the band. If you don't know these things, you don't even know who the lead singer is, you're not a real fan." It's like, I like the music. What? It made no sense to me. And then I had come back the next day with 100 questions about the Smurfs animated cartoon, because this was in about 5th or 6th grade. I was a really huge Smurfs fan. Like, huge Smurfs fan. And I came back and like, "Oh, name at least 30 of the Smurfs." And when this person couldn't, I'm like, "You're not a real fan of the Smurfs." The older I get, the more I realize how wrong that was. How stupid it was of me to do that. Just because she didn't know 30 of the Smurfs' names doesn't mean that she wasn't a fan of the Smurfs. She watched the cartoons with me. We had our own OCs, and we talked about the Smurfs all the time. That doesn't mean that because she didn't know as much as I did that she wasn't a fan. So just because you don't know as much about a certain fandom as someone else does, that doesn't invalidate your interest or make you not a fan. Like I said, I'm guilty of doing that, but I've learned from my mistakes, and I try my absolute hardest to accept anyone into anything and try and inform people of everything I know. A fan is someone who shows an interest in something. Driving someone away from something they are interested in or discouraging someone for not knowing enough about this certain thing, it's rude, it's wrong, and it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter how much someone knows about a certain thing. It just depends on whether or not they show an interest. If they show an interest or they even put a small amount of effort in, even if they may not put in a lot of effort, if they're able to say that they enjoy this show, they enjoy the fan art, they enjoy the theories, they're a fan. They may just be a fan of the fandom. Who knows? I, for example, am a fan of Doctor Who and Sherlock. Said I've only watched season 1 of Supernatural, but I still like Supernatural in general. I'm a fan of the Super Who-lock as shows, but as the fandom, I am slightly torn away from the Super Who-lock fandom because they've gotten a bad rep on social media because of how aggressive they are and how serious they take everything. Like, someone could make a small little joke about it and swarms of them will attack that one person, and it's like, this is why you guys have a bad rep. Attacking people for making a innocent joke about something, it's not going to get you any respect or authority on anything. It's not going to do that. That's not how it works. Acceptance is a huge factor, and being able to understand that no matter how much you love these things, not everyone's going to share the same opinion. And when you are going to attack people because of these things, it's not going to help your case. This sort of comes along the lines with the shipping aspect. Fandoms will a lot of times attack people who ship something that is generally looked down on. There shouldn't be anything looked down upon in these fandoms. These ships, they're just ships. I take my shipping very seriously. I love shipping, but that doesn't mean that if you don't ship something I ship that I'm going to ban you from my channel, or if you say, oh, this ship is a no TP for me, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, get off my channel, you don't belong here. No. You're entitled to your own opinions on anything, which this is where I did get into this on my ship and fandom hate. To make a fandom, basically, when you can learn to accept people of all ages, of all knowledge base, of all knowledge amounts, of all content creators, even if they aren't content creators, if they're just there. When you can learn to accept these people into the fandoms without any kind of resistance, is how you're going to be able to make your fandom as opposed to breaking it. We're a community, not a sorority. We don't have to haze people so they can get into fandoms. We don't have to abuse our quote-unquote power to give yourself a higher standing as opposed to other fandoms. And when it comes down to it, I am saying this as a member of many fandoms, as a shipper, as I wouldn't say a theorist, but a discussionist, or both. I guess you can say a theorist, but as someone who likes to communicate and discuss these things, what makes or breaks a fandom comes down to the fans. And the fans are what make up the fandoms. The fans are a lot more of an impact than they sort of think. And one person can make a difference. Because if one person can tell someone within your fandom, look, I saw the way you treated this person because they got a little bit of information wrong. I think that was a little bit rude. This person may go on to apologize to that person, and then they may be able to bring that person further into their fandom and teach them a little bit more or inform them of the knowledge that they may or may not lack. It all depends on you. You are what makes your fandom. You can be what breaks your fandom. And that's up to you. You can choose to ignore this and ignore other people and just continue to send hate to people who don't like a ship. Send hate to people who don't support your theory, or send insults to people who combat your theories or just try to open a discussion. It's up to you. I, for one, am a very large advocate for acceptance in all aspects. In all aspects. Fandoms, outside of fandoms, reality, politics. Acceptance is huge. It's something that's really important. I may have mentioned this before in another video. When I went through the period where I was really getting down upon myself for shipping, and I completely cleared out my phone of all my fan fictions and my fan arts that I had saved on my phone or even drawn myself. I got rid of everything, and I regretted it instantly because it's like, these are some things I enjoy. I shouldn't let someone else take these things and put me down for them. It's the same thing. I forget where I was going with this. Fuck. Being able to accept people for what they want to do and what they create is really it's huge. It's huge. Choosing whether or not to accept someone, it shouldn't have to be a choice. You should just be able to generally accept someone. And I don't want to sound harsh here, but if you can't, then shame on you. Because these people are no better or no worse than you are. Honestly, I don't really know where I'm going with this. So, thank you guys so much for taking your time to watch this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, take a stab at that like button, and I hope to see each and every one of you sometime in the very near future. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye! Fuck.